Well, I'm very excited to introduce our next speaker. This year's Big Family Toast will be given by someone who I truly admire, who's not only a father of twin girls, but a champion of making America great again and defending the American family. I am proud to introduce the first recipient of our newly founded Big Family PAC, Congressman Ben Cline.
Well, good evening. Thank you, Anthony, for that introduction. I want to thank everyone at the American Principles Project. It's an honor to be with you tonight. You know, this season always reminds us that the strength of our nation has never come from Washington, but from the faith and the families and traditions that shape American life. They're the strength that lift us up. For me and my colleagues, so many of whom are here tonight, from the House and the Senate, it's our families that lift us up and give us the strength to go fight on behalf of families every day in Congress. Absolutely. For me, it's my twin daughters. They're teenagers now, so please say a prayer for me and for my wife. And my wife, Elizabeth, that give me the strength to come back each and every week. And while Congress still has its share of spirited debates, I can report one small Christmas blessing this year. For once, we're not voting to avoid a government shutdown on a continuing resolution in the middle of December. So if that's not a sign of hope, I don't know what is. You know, Christmas has a way of clearing out the noise and bringing us back to what truly matters. Not the latest outrage circulating online, not the theatrics of Congress, to which we've become too accustomed, and not the most recent election results. Turn our attention to the permanent things, the values that have guided us for generations, and the principles that have built a nation unlike any other in history. So tonight is not about the frustrations of the moment. Tonight's about hope. Hope rooted in our faith, our families, and the conviction that the United States remains a country worth defending and worth preserving. As supporters of the American Principles Project, you have been steadfast partners in that work. You have stood strong for children, for families, and for parents who deserve to raise their sons and daughters without interference from educational bureaucracies or corporate agendas. At a time when simple truths are treated like controversies, you continue to remind this country that the basics still matter, and the stakes continue to grow. We are living in a moment where fundamental realities, whether biological, moral, or constitutional, are treated as if they are optional. Parents are told to step aside while agencies and activists attempt to shape the hearts and minds of our children. But the citizens in my state of Virginia and the citizens across this nation know the truth. Parents are not the problem. Parents are the solution, the very foundation of a healthy society. Strong families create strong communities, and strong communities create and sustain a strong nation. That is the formula that has kept the American experiment alive for nearly 2.5 centuries. It's why I've worked to defend parental rights in education, to support family-centered policies, and to ensure that our children grow up in a country where right and wrong still carry meaning. This past year, we've witnessed families rise in inspiring ways at school boards, at state capitals, at voting booths across the country. Parents are pushing back against ideologies that attempt to divide children from their values, from their identity, and from their faith. Voters are calling for transparency, accountability, and plain common sense. This is not a side note in our national story. It is the beginning of a long overdue course correction for our nation. And while Congress may not always move as quickly as we would like, there's real progress underway. Led by my colleagues in this room, we are advancing legislation to protect parental rights, preserve women's sports, safeguard children online, and reclaim authority from federal agencies that believe they know better than the American family. But my colleagues and I know that we remain committed to these efforts every single day. But we should remember something important. Cultural victories are not secured in Washington alone. They are won out in the heartland, in our homes, in our churches, in our communities, and in organizations like the American Principles Project that never lose sight of what is true and what deserves defending. So as we gather this Christmas season, we remember our responsibility as citizens to guard what is good, to stand firm in what is true, and to ensure that the America our children inherit is stronger, freer, and more firmly rooted in faith and family than the one we found. So tonight, please join me in a toast to big families and to you, the American Principles Project that supports them. Thank you for your commitment, your courage, and your willingness to fight for the American family, big and small, every day. Here's to you. From my family to yours, Merry Christmas. May God bless you. May God bless the American family, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you.